to say all of those things, I'm sorry.
I don't think you're sorry, Nish. Come on. I mean, it's still up. It's still there for people to see. I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure that I'm sorry for anything.
No, you shouldn't be. But that doesn't change that, like, I could have done that better. Anyway, you want to talk about Chrissy Katyayani?
Well, I want to talk about Chrissy. I want to talk about Rama. I want to talk about, like, but first I want to talk about Rama because I'm very concerned that you're talking to her while she's in the psych ward.
Yeah, I mean, she sent me a text yesterday. I didn't respond because it seemed kind of like psych ward. I mean, she said, Honey Singh talking through text right now. She said, yo, Honey Singh talking through text right now. I can send you a screenshot of that. I didn't reply. But then today, earlier today in the morning, she sent me a text like, hey, I'm coming back to LA. Where are you at? Can I see you? And I responded to that. I said, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Call me, let's talk. I didn't say she could come back to LA. I didn't say she was welcome back in my house. But I told her that I'm open to her calling me and talking about this.
I mean, Nish, like, if nothing else by now, I mean, if your argument is that my disruption of your exorcism 5 days in on the 5th day, by making you move trees, if your argument is that is what caused your exorcism to be a failure and thus her to take off, that's not fair because you're the fucking guru, right? Like, if I'm so fucking powerful that one fucking thing that I do after finally breaking down can disrupt it all, then I guess I'm the fucking guru, not you.
It wasn't fair of me to say that, like, okay, I never wanted to make it sound like it was your fault.
But you did.
You said I did not have the ability.
And you sat with me in that park that morning. You sat with me and you admitted that actually it was your fault.
I will again. I'll say, like, I tried my best. I did what I could. I never told her to go off medication. In fact, I strongly advised against it.
But we had a conversation, you and I together, that night at my house in Portland. You said you should have never brought her. You said that she needed to go home. You said she needed to go back to Sacramento, that you couldn't do it at your house. You admitted that.
I did, and I will again. I admitted that I couldn't do it on my own. She'd been in my house for 2 weeks. Sananji was here, a friend of mine, and some other people were here. And we realized, like, first of all, it's very important to point out that she wasn't like that in my home.
No, but that's why we talked about the transitions appear to be difficult to her every time we left the house. And we talked about that for that reason, taking her to Seattle could be disastrous and dangerous for her.
I know. In fact, I knew it would be. I confessed to it being. And I did talk to everyone without you that morning. And I told them, I don't think I feel good going to Seattle and leaving Rama behind.
Yeah.
When I spoke to her that day, I told her all these things. I said, Rama, we can't bring you to Seattle. Clearly, you're not in a state where you can be in this community, and it doesn't seem to be doing you any favors. I asked her if she went off her medication. Because for a long time, for 2 weeks, she'd been telling me that she wanted to. And I've been telling her not to. I've seen her behave around substances, and she gave me the impression that she's, like, responsible and has a good head on her shoulders.
But darling, she was fucking supposed to be taking psychotics, and you were giving her nitrous. I had to make you stop giving her nitrous.
I know, and I spoke to her about those things. I said, Rama, like, I don't feel comfortable having drugs in the house and you being in the house while
No. I'm talking about at my house. You brought nitrous to my house with her and gave it to her until I made you stop.
And that was wrong. That was wrong of me. I know.
And then we had this conversation, we had this plan, and you went behind my back and you convinced these other people, and you know it's a power dynamic. You're a guru. They look at you as gurus. So when you go behind my back and then you make another plan, and then it doesn't matter what I say or do, they're going to do what you said.
I know, but Mom, my plan was that I would go back to LA with Rama. Like, Rama, when I spoke to her the night before, I said she couldn't come to Seattle, and she really wanted to. She said she didn't want to go back to Sacramento. She said the same thing she'd been saying to me all the while she'd been here, that she didn't feel like the institutions or that her family back in Sacramento could support her in a way. I mean, and they are supportive. They're like,
and I understand that. I remember being 22 years old, and I remember just being 22, and you want to carve your own life out, you want to do your own things. Those are even just normal 22-year-old things. But when you complicate that with mental illness, I understand that she had wants and that you wanted to help her, but you were being told by everyone around you, including mothers.
Yeah, I know. And
that you could not give her what she needed.
Yeah, I know.
And then I told you this was going to end in disaster, and it ended in fucking disaster. And Nish, you also made ugly statements saying that I didn't stay at the park that night. Let's fucking be real, dude. You stayed at the park because you got kicked out.
And because I wanted to.
And because people needed to stay. Now, why didn't I stay there? Because after you got kicked out, I was alone at the ashram to clean up after you by myself. I had to clean that fucking place by myself. I had been feeding all of you. I had to pack all that gear by myself. I was so fucking exhausted. Yes, I went to sleep in a bed so that I could ensure that I could get up the next morning as soon as the sun rose and get right back out on those streets. I made 3 different versions of flyers. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on flyers. I went back to the train and went back south on the path that you went with your group and put up flyers at the stations that didn't have any. And branched out further. You guys didn't do all the stations. You didn't do everything you said you were going to do. You stopped at a park to do puja. And then you said I abandoned all my spiritual practices. I did more japa in the 2 days hanging flyers looking for that girl than I did the 2 weeks prior because I was so busy taking care of all of you.
I know.
You can do both.
You stayed in the house not only to clean up but to hold the bridge.
Yeah.
To help.
That's right.
I know. I know that's why you stayed at Sarada's house, and I didn't actually expect you to stay at the park. I was going to stay there by myself with Shunya, and I didn't expect anybody to come back to LA with me. They all wanted to go to Seattle. Rama wanted to go to Seattle. I shouldn't have done that. I feel really bad for saying that about you, because I'm assuming you didn't do japa. Of course you did. And by the way, we did do all the stations. I promise you that we did. We had witnesses. I didn't do puja in the park. We did all the stations, and if we didn't do enough, like if we didn't put up enough flyers, I can concede to that. Maybe we should have put up more. But we put up as many as we could, and maybe they were taken down. But we did every single stop, from Mount Baker all the way to Federal. That I promise you. Did we do all that we could? Maybe not. And I want to I want you to know that I was wrong to say what I said in that video. I was crashing out. I was reacting. It wasn't meant to be a public video. It was unlisted, and I thought we could keep it in the Kula. It's just meant for us in the Kula. We're a family crashing out at each other and saying things that we'll later regret. But because of our shared love, I just felt like, okay, we could just say mean things because we mean them in that moment, coming from our places. We're all coming from a good place. We wanted to help Rama. It is my responsibility to have helped her, and I failed that. I don't like that she ran away.
But Nish, there's a very unhealthy pattern here. So now let's talk about Chrissy. So now I learn that just months before this, another young vulnerable girl who was in the Vedanta Society mission for a year and seemingly fine, out for 1 week or 2 weeks, then goes to your house for a week, and then has a fucking psychotic breakdown, and then gets caught up in drugs, and then gets arrested and has now also been put in a fucking psych ward.
Yes. And I want to talk about that because
let's talk about that.
Yes, I don't think we should do another retreat for a while because I don't know how to manage the space. I don't have the institutional protections that some places have. And I've always admitted that I don't have the training to deal with psychiatric issues through an allopathic and psychiatric way. And that's why I don't feel comfortable telling people to abandon those things either. And I know that, as an I don't need to exercise this spirit. That isn't my approach. I just wanted to hold space and give her spiritual tools to help ground her. Spiritual tools.
Nish, you're the one who kept calling it an exorcism. You're the one who kept saying she was possessed. And because of that, it led to people referring to her as a demon. Grasini Ma literally, she told me that's why she didn't follow her into the night, because she believed she was a demon, and you told her to stay. You told everyone to ignore her. Yes. You told people not to follow her.
I know, and that was bad leadership on my part. And anything I admitted to you in private about my failures, know that I'm willing to admit against anybody. I concede that was my mistake. I should have taken responsibility, and I didn't. I followed her myself, and I did tell everyone who was awake not to come with me.
Yeah,
didn't
and
think
then
to
they
get
all
drugs.
just let her go. And then the next
Yes,
morning, they
yes.
still weren't searching for her seriously. Grassini Ma did that. I found Grassini and Nicola sitting in a coffee shop having coffee
I
and
know.
fucking breakfast while I'm desperately looking for this girl. And Grassini's response to me was, well, we've basically been hanging out for a demon with 2 weeks. This is just her play trying to turn us on each other. Don't get caught up in the Leela.
I know. And that was wrong. I shouldn't have used the language that was later than weak of their inactivity. Where I failed in my leadership and in my use of language that was less than responsible, like I will admit all of those things, Mom, but I think we should be like clear that I didn't want that to happen.
I know
I don't want it to
maybe
ever
you
happen
didn't
again to
want it to
anyone.
happen, Nish, but what the problem is that it seems to be a very clear pattern of happening now with women and a clear pattern of you actually not taking accountability. You're having conversations with me, but then you're going into chats with your Kula and having very different conversations. You're placing blame on others. You didn't have the same conversations with her family.
I know, and maybe you and I could do this, what we're doing now, like in a public forum, in a public setting. Like, I want to admit to all the things that I did wrong. I mean, I'm down to do that tonight even. We have a Monday night call. I was going to just like not do it and just like not do some lectures for a while I reflect on these things. But if you want, Ma, like whatever I said to you in the park, like let's just like do it in public. Because here's the thing, right? It's happened 3 times. It's not just Chrissy, it's also Heather at Oxnard.
Right.
So let me tell you about those 3 instances. The most recent being Rama. I knew about Rama's like past psychiatric issues. She was clear about those things from the very get-go. She came to me. When I said she knocked on my door out of nowhere, I'm being hyperbolic. Like obviously, she like reached out to me on Instagram. I didn't know who she was, but when she messaged me on Instagram, she said she needed help. She had finished her relationship. She exited a relationship. She graduated from Cornell and was looking to make some next steps and was following me for a while and wanted to come visit me in LA. She didn't mention she wanted to stay with me or anything. And then she said that if she needed to stay with me, could she? And I said, absolutely. So then she reached our house Monday, the new moon, the 2 new moons ago. She came to my house on a Monday night, and that was how she came here. So, like, that's the first thing I want to clarify. In the 2 weeks, or I don't know, maybe 3 weeks before we came to Seattle, I left for Tennessee. She stayed in the house and, like, took care of the altar. She was doing all of the things that I told her to do, and she was taking her psychiatric medication. She didn't do any cocaine. She didn't do any nitrous. She smoked some marijuana and experimented with psychedelics. But when I saw how she was around drugs, it didn't make me feel like I had to like keep them away from her. I felt like I could do the drugs I wanted to do with the people who felt safe to do them with.
She told her family that you gave her LSD. Nish, why do you need to be told
Not LSD, mushrooms.
Okay,
mushrooms.
Why do you need to be told that somebody who's struggling with psychosis shouldn't be fucking giving psychedelics?
I know, and this is my lack of
Why would you need someone to tell you that?
I just didn't think that I should make decisions for her, and if she said that she was safe and comfortable, I mean, I would see her like...
It's not a matter of making decisions for her. At that point, you've invited her to your home. She's looking to you as a guru, as an older person, as a guru, as a spiritual advisor, and in a spiritual lineage that often engages in the consumption of stimulants and psychedelics in order to have but at the same time, we also know that Raja Yoga is very important. That part of our practice is cultivating a mind that is under control. And that is the first step. So you know that. I know it because you fucking taught it to me.
I know.
And then you go and invite a vulnerable young person who has told you they are psychologically unstable, and you host a space for them to imbibe psychedelics when you know they are not in control of their own mind. Then you bring them to a retreat they're not invited to. You continue to give them mind-altering substances. You engage, you have other people telling you this isn't safe. You agree, and then all in all, Nish, what it really comes down to, and what I haven't heard you say yet, is that this was about you and your ego and about you being selfish. Period.
I know. I don't deny it. That is there.
It's just
I thought it would help her, and I was wrong.
You were wrong. You were in over your head over and over and over and over and over again. And people are getting seriously hurt. Do you understand how fucking lucky Rama is?
I know, I do understand that.
Do you understand that there was, how lucky she was that there was a fucking hysterical mother willing to scream and make threats to make people get up and do the right thing? Yeah, I made threats and I fucking meant it, Nish. I fucking meant it. And I did every bit of that because it's what I had to do to make people do what needed to be done to find Rama.
Yeah, I know.
And I shouldn't have had to do that to make you all do that. I shouldn't have had to make threats to get you all to do what needed to be done. But the bottom line is, Nish, she is so fucking lucky she had a hysterical mother to fight for her because the statistics of her being found alive were fucking minimal.
I know, we got very lucky.
She was asking strangers for rides, for help. My fucking God, Nish.
I know.
In a city in the U.S. with the highest fucking missing and murdered rate of brown and indigenous women in the entire fucking country, and you watched her walk away.
I know. I watched her walk away.
The next one may not be so lucky, Nish.
I know.
I'm a baseball fan. Strike 3 and you're out, babe.
And this is strike 3. And I really thought it would help her. And you're right. It was about, like, I was over it.
She was your special project, dude. You forgot her humanity.
I know, and I don't want to do that again. And I don't mean to, like, continue until we can figure out what to do next. And you're going to be very important in discussing all of that. And I know that, like, it wasn't fair what I said. I didn't mean for that video to get out beyond the Kula. I've since taken it down. And anything that I can say in a public forum, like anything I can admit to my own failing, I want to. I mean, like, here's the thing. I want you to know about Christine. I want you to know about Heather. And 3 things have happened that clearly I was not able to deal with. And moving forward, like, I don't know what the tools are. I know it's about discernment and letting some people in and not letting others in. You know what my values are. And, like, it's not that I want to change my convictions or values. I just need help in executing. I know that my execution is the problem. And I don't mean to just, like, keep bullishly doing the same thing. I'm sure you don't think that of me. You know that
I don't know, Nish. At this point, I'm really kind of fucking convinced. Like, I watched you manipulate people. You did. You manipulated me. You did. Because it's not if, Nish. No. When you have one conversation with me in my home, and then you turn around and you even say you intentionally excluded me because I was the host. And you misrepresented facts in your video. You misrepresented facts in the chat. You misrepresented information to Rama's family. You made it look like you were leading a search that you weren't fucking leading, that you were being forced to participate in, as a matter of fact. I had to bully you into actually making a meaningful post on your own fucking social media because you didn't want to fucking get wrapped up in it publicly. That is manipulative, and it makes you appear to be a predator.
I know, and all those things that I misrepresented, I'm sure it'd be nice to like log them to say, like, this is what I said, but this is not what was actually the case, and so I can address them. You know, I was trying to prevent hysteria in the Kula in the moment. I was trying to keep everybody calm.
You were worried you were focused on your ego. You were focused on the wrong things. You were worried about yourself. You were protecting yourself instead of thinking about Rama. You never once put Rama first.
I pray that that's not true.
It is, G. You put your goal for Rama first. You put your ambitions for Rama first. You wanted her to be your special project to show that you could fucking do this thing. But it became clear, and you admitted multiple times that you were in over your head, yet you still kept fucking going. And then when it all fucking finally blew up, like I told you that it was going to, then you put yourself first. You put protecting yourself first. You put protecting the Kula first. You did not put finding Rama first. Never once did you actually put Rama, the person. You never put her first.
If I could, in the next few days, show you that's not what is in my heart, that's not what I meant to do, I want to do that. Rama was always first for me. It was difficult to have her at my house for weeks. But I did it not because it was my special project. I wanted to prove anything to anyone. Maybe I had a lot to learn, and this was an opportunity for me to learn things, and maybe that was a motivation somewhere. But I never thought it came at the expense of her humanity. I was never willing to throw her under the bus and be like, oh, whoops, that didn't work out. I won't think about this again. If I could sweep all of this under the carpet right now, I swear to God, I don't mean to do that. That's why, like, I think this conversation is important. I think maybe doing a public forum thing and having everyone talk about it is important. I want to apologize to you in public for the things I said in a video that I never intended to circulate. I want to admit to all the things that not only I was wrong about, but also the things that, like you said, I misrepresented. I could have said things better. I could have been clearer. I could have communicated better with you and with your family. Those things I want to take responsibility for and publicly and openly admit. Like, I'm not above saying that I'm wrong here, Ma. I'm not gonna like budge on our conviction of like inclusivity.
But I never criticized that. I never criticized that.
I know that. Ma, you're trying to fight for that.
Yeah.
In the moment.
But also sometimes being inclusive doesn't mean allowing people or being inclusive means we understand that everyone has a place in Tantra. But being inclusive doesn't mean that we have to facilitate spaces that we know will be harmful, because some spaces are not meant for everyone. Number one. Number two, it all really, Nish, also could have been avoided if you had just been respectful of my request. I did not know Rama was coming in advance. For you to suggest that I did is false. I made it abundantly clear in writing and in our Zoom meetings that we were hosting a small, intimate, private Gupt Navratri. And we made it specific that if people wanted to attend, they needed to directly message a host for the address. I told you you were welcome in my home. Now, when you showed up with uninvited guests, yes, I made the decision as a host to be gracious and extend an invitation in that moment, because I thought that was the kinder thing to do than to be a bitch and say, oh, you weren't invited, go away. Right?
That would have protected them. It would have protected me. It would have protected us. It would have protected Rama. I know. And I know there's a time and place for being like firm and stern and doing this.
But I didn't.
I don't hold any of this.
I tried really hard to host it. But also, G, like, you showed up with people. Everyone you showed up with was incredibly vulnerable.
I know.
Those two kids you showed up with, and I know they're not legally kids. I know they're legally adults. But to me, they're kids. Right? They're young enough to be my kids. Therefore, they are fucking kids in my book.
And so am I. And I'm just like not respecting that people are vulnerable.
And we didn't get half the shit done on our schedule because you came and you just took over. You made it the Nish show.
I know.
And people got hurt. It is a separate thing, but it's all intertwined, because here's the deal. Like, you tried to make this sound like this was some, like we had our own sadhana goals, and like my growth suddenly became like, wrapped up in, okay, now I'm feeding 14 people instead of 7 people. Okay, great. Wasn't fucking planning on that, but I'll just spend my time figuring that out now, and I'll make it possible for 14 people to sleep here now. And not that there was any sleeping going on, but like, dude, like,
I know.
Sadhana didn't happen because we were all busy dealing with your bullshit. You're the guru. You're supposed to be facilitating growth, not the obstacle to it.
I know. And
so, like, there's so many criticisms to be had. And quite frankly, Nish, I think you need to stop hosting retreats, and you probably need to hold off on your lectures for a while. I think you need to figure out what you want to be. You've been walking this I'm a guru, I'm not a guru line for a long time now. Yes. You always want to be the guru when things are going well, when people are making spiritual growth. But as soon as real shit happens, you're not the leader. And I don't think you're intentionally trying to start a cult. I think most cult leaders aren't intentionally trying to start a cult.
I know.
But because of your unwillingness to publicly be accountable, and because of this fucking line of female victims that are piling up behind you, you are creating an environment where, I mean, look at all those people in the Kula chat and the way they were so willing to just attack me for holding you accountable.
I know. Ma, if you could protect me from this turning into a cult inadvertently, like, that would help me.
You're on the verge right now. Like, right now, you are at the precipice. Right now, your actions determine whether or not you're a cult, and whether or not you create a space where people will continue to get hurt.
If I push you out, and if I don't listen to any of these things, if I don't like engage with you in a public forum, I know what decision I would be making, and I don't want to make that decision. I want to listen. I want to help. I want to be held accountable. I want to do what I can.
Then let's do that. I think your future lectures should be not lectures, but having open discussions about how to ensure that this is a healthy and safe spiritual space.
Will you attend them?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
as long
I'm
as
wondering
as
tonight.
long as the ultimate goal is accountability and real discussion and open discussion and focusing on making sure that nothing like this ever happens again, yes. But also, I will give you some more prerequisites for me to agree to do that.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna wonder, like, tonight, is it too soon?
No, but hear me out. You do not allow Rama to come back and live with you. You can love Rama, you can support Rama, but you do not allow her to come and stay in your home again until she is healthy.
I came to that same conclusion. I don't know what healthy looks like either, so I don't think I'm ever gonna let her come and stay.
That's probably also the best thing, right? And you should probably also, Nish, just stop having any young women come and stay in your home.
I agree. It's like a liability that I don't need to be taking on.
Yeah, and quite frankly, you may be able to say, I'm not sexually attracted to you, but not everyone is.
I know, and also, even if I'm sleeping in my bed and she's sleeping in the couch, the fact is, I'm a young man, she's a young woman, we're alone in the house together. Of course, the parents are not going to be okay with that. Like, why would we take on such liability?
But you also have to understand that there needs to be some discernment in the sense that there were women at the retreat, at our retreat, who made it explicitly clear to me that they were sexually attracted to you. Multiple.
And I ignore that. Like, I don't believe that Nicola or Grassini are sexually attracted to me, but I know that they are. I just, I'm not willing to, like, accept that that's true.
Yeah, and because of that, they're not genuinely engaging in sadhana.
I know, and plus, I've complained to so many people before that I'm worried that people are just like starstruck, sitting there blinking at me and not actually listening to what I'm saying. I don't want to end up in a room where I'm surrounded by people who are attracted to me and who are looking at me, because I don't need that attention. In fact, it's like maybe at one point it would have delighted me, but like right now it's like scary. Like, I don't want to.
But that is what's happening because your lectures, you want to know why I don't have questions during lecture? Because you spend the majority of the lecture bitching about what people are saying about you online. And talking about online feuds. Well, I don't know what the fuck's happening online, Nish, because I don't fucking follow you on social media.
I know.
I don't know. So how do I have questions? You're not really teaching much in your lectures anymore. You're rambling because you are supposed to be able to imbibe and handle it, but you can't.
I know.
You're getting high and drunk, and you're not giving lectures that allow people to actually have genuine questions because you're all over the place. You can hardly make a point. You jump from topic to topic and thing to thing. You make assumptions about, well, I mean, we have people here who don't even know what Shakti is.
I know, and my problem with people not asking questions, when I like crashed out about that the other day, I know that I was onto something. I'm like, there's a problem here. The fact that people aren't asking questions at the end of the lecture like they used to is alerting me to something about the lectures that I want to look at.
Yeah, because they're not coherent anymore. They go on and on and on, and at the end I'm going, what the fuck did we just talk about?
Me too. I get to the end of the lectures, and I also ask the same question, what the fuck did we just talk about? And I expect better of me and of our community. And like, this is an important intervention. Like, I want to make the right choice at this precipice.
I mean, I'm really glad to hear that, Nish, but I have to say, like, there's going to have to be some serious trust, like, work between you and I for me to really believe that. But because I care so much about making sure that what happened to Rama doesn't happen to someone else, I will attend. If you host it, I will attend online, and I will be happy to help, and I will try to get through some of this anger that I have been tapped in, because you're right. You tapped, listen, I am a mother, and you gave me that fucking, and actually I will correct you, I don't believe that you gave me my name. Ma gave me my name. She may have used your words to whisper it, but it's not a name you can take away because it wasn't yours to give. Right?
Of course not. And I think we've been clear about that. Mantras all come from Ma, names all come from Ma. She alone is the authority here. And my principle of decentralization has been difficult for me because people have been slavishly and like hero worshiping and like following me and putting me on that role as a leader. And I'm not like doing enough to like disrupt that. And because of those principles, it's made me like feel like I don't have any responsibility.
That's right.
I don't actually need to be like the leader or the guru. Ma is. And with you doing this, like, it helps me get that ideal across. Like, don't leave me, Ma. I'm begging you. Please don't leave me, because it's like, I don't want this to happen to another woman. I need to protect myself from myself, other women from themselves. I need to protect other women from the darker aspects of me that need some checks and balances that you're providing now. Like, I believe in what we're doing. I know that you do too. And of course, it's going to take years for us to rebuild trust. But it's years that I'm willing to, like, put in and commit. I love you, Ma, and I know that you love me. And that will see us through. And I need your advice right now. I need you to tell me like what action steps I need to take. Like in the search, like I know I could have done better, but I was looking to you for leadership. And right now, also, I know that I want to have some public forums. I've been meaning to do that. I want you to be there, and I want you to lead them and facilitate them. And I will answer questions, and you can maybe posit, like, these are the things that you said. These seem like they were misrepresenting facts. And then I can, like a defendant or something in a case, like, admit to where I was wrong. And, like, I promise you I'm not going to try to be defensive. I'm not going to try to save face here. Because what it would mean for me to save face right now and come out of all of this is to, like, come out into a world where I have, like, people blinking at me who are starstruck and hero worshipy, who don't actually care about what I want to say. I don't want that.
I will continue to help, but I will tell you this, Nish.
Thank you.
The next time I feel like you've lied to me, or manipulated me intentionally, or anyone for that matter, I'm done.
I know. And I think you being done means that you need this to be done, and I fully concur and concede. If you're done, Jwalamukhi, this should be done. And I don't want this to be done. I don't want you to be done. I don't want to be done. But I know that, like, maybe tonight we can take our first step, and I'll hop on the Zoom, and it won't be a lecture, it'll be a public forum, and maybe we'll keep it at that for a while until we can, like, be sure of each other and be sure this is not going to happen again. I don't want it to happen again, but I was really upset that it happened to Rama. I want to admit to all the things I did wrong. And you should know about Chrissy and Heather, too.
Well, I think everyone should, so I think we should save that.
Okay.
And I think you should encourage everyone else who was at that retreat to come and attend in this same vein, in this same mindset. And if they can't, let me tell you this, if they can't come, I don't feel comfortable with them. Grasanima has some fucking accountability. Nikila has some accountability. Viranatha has some accountability. Mahadeva, everyone needs to be at that table. And if they won't come to that table, they don't need to be at any future tables.
Okay, I agree. I need to let the people who I trust, whose values I trust, help me discern who is welcome at what table. And I trust you to not exclude people the way other people have, but that doesn't mean, like, there are some things that are for some people and some things that aren't for some people. My principle of radical inclusion doesn't mean that everybody gets to be at everything all the time.
Yeah, we are radically inclusive that everyone deserves to swim in the swimming pool, but that doesn't mean you throw the paraplegic in without support.
I know. Like, we will create those supports. I just think maybe tonight I'll message
and sometimes you have to say, gosh, you know what? Our chairlift is broken. We're sorry. We're not going to be able to put you in the pool right now, but over here we do have some sprinklers if you'd like to sit in them, you know?
Yeah, I know. I know. My lectures need to get more focused. I need to get more focused. I need some sobriety. I'm not processing what happened last time well. And everyone's suffering for it.
I don't think I've ever been more traumatized, Nish.
I know.
And I've been through some shit in my life. You know what I mean? And this last 2 weeks were so fucking traumatizing. And I did learn a lot. And I will stand by this. I learned because I went against my own principles in some areas because I trusted you more than myself.
I know.
And if nothing else, these last 2 weeks have helped me understand my alignment with Goddess more than understand that I am her, she is me, that connection, that inner voice, that I that is not the mind but the I can never be ignored, because that's what I ignored because of a trust in you. And that is where I went wrong.
And Guru Yoga does not mean a trust in me as, like, a young, psychologically fraught human with my own issues.
Right.
It means trusting that voice,
right,
which my only job is, like, facilitate your connection with. And that's what Sadhava said, too. Like, I was, like, getting in my head about, like, oh, my God, like, I failed Sadhava, but no, it's like Sadhava said at the end of that retreat, she reclaimed her voice by being able to kick us out. And that was wonderful. Like, I'm not saying I don't want people to just follow me, Mom, because I want to be corrected. I want to be held accountable. I want to do all the checks and balances. But people don't, like see me as a human with my own issues, because they project the goddess onto me, but then they forget that they are the goddess, and the voice within them that tells them, don't let this woman come to the tree, that gets ignored because they're looking at me to be the goddess and lead.
Well, yeah, but then even then when I tried to put my foot down, you went against me and manipulated and got someone else that you knew. You went to someone else who you knew wasn't in tune, who couldn't hear that voice.
Of course, there, because, like, I asked Mahadeva, like, to talk to Sadhava, And I tried to talk to Sada like before we started.
Yeah, but now, Nish, now you're backstepping because listen, we knew it didn't matter what Saradama knew at that point. We knew that it was not healthy for her to go.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter whether or not Saradama consented. It didn't matter. It still wasn't even informed consent because we knew you could tell someone it's like it and even then Rama didn't consent. Rama was not in a state to consent.
She couldn't consent, I know. So I should have taken her like, I want to come to Seattle seriously because no, like, what does she know? And Ma, like,
she may have wanted it, dear, but listen, 5-year-olds want a whole lot of shit that we don't give them.
I know, and I'm the kind of person that would give it to them, and I don't want to be that kind of person.
Okay, well, listen, if you want to have your Zoom tonight, you have your Zoom tonight, but I can't attend because I don't have the link because I've been kicked out of everything. So you're going to have to send me that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, like, I didn't want anybody to kick you out or anything. That wasn't my decision. And maybe can I put you back in everything? Mm-hmm. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll put you back in everything.
And for the record, I did not dox anyone.
I know, of course.
Nor did I threaten to. I told them that the family asked me for the names of all the people involved and that I was providing it because they did.
I know, and then what they were telling me is that, like, you're on this, like, rampage doxing everybody. I'm like, that doesn't sound like Jwalamukhi at all.
I did not dox anyone, nor did I.
Of course, why would you swat anyone? Why would you dox anyone?
No, I was swatted. I was swatted. Someone threatened to swat me.
That was not okay. We kicked her out, by the way. That girl, Rebecca, who, like, swatted you. Like,
okay,
we kicked her out. I spoke to her. I'm like, that's not okay. Rebecca is no longer in the picture. We kicked her out. It's going to be 7 p.m. tonight. Like, can you make that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll send you the link. I think you should open it. Like, I think you should start. Is that okay? Yeah. I'm gonna message everyone who attended the retreat. I know I'll reach out to Nicola and Grasni and Mahadeva personally. Mm-hmm.
Veernatha.
Yeah, if you want to send me a list of all the people that you think need to be there.
I mean, everyone who was at the retreat should be there, at least.
I don't know about Gananayaka. Like, I can't guarantee that he's going to come or say anything.
Well, I think we should invite and try to encourage everyone who was invited to come. And then also, I think the larger group. I don't think it should just be us. I think it should be public and open, always.
I agree. It's going to be public and open just like every Monday night satsang.
Okay.
I'm going to make an Instagram post about it and a Patreon post about it to invite the forum. Can I send you my, like, post? And then you can read over it and tell me, like, if it needs any... Like, I'm gonna invite the world to come to this public forum. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna explain what it's for accountability and for, like, moving forward and to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody again. But the way I'm gonna word things, like, I would appreciate it if you could look over it and tell me if I'm doing anything that sounds like I'm trying to, like, hide or protect myself or manipulate. Like, I don't want to trust myself with this right now, and I'd rather, like, listen and let you lead. Mm-hmm. But it has to be me that, like, makes the Patreon post and the Instagram post and invites people, you know?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to send you something soon, okay? You, like, look over it. I'll try to post it as soon as I can. And then 7 p.m., I'll send you the link. I'll try to get you back in the various chats, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
And you will tell me, like, when you feel like we've gone to a place where there are, like, safeguards in place. Like, I don't think I mean to do a retreat for a very long time, but, like, when you feel like it's safe again for us to start doing what we used to in terms of lectures and, like, as far as our learning community is concerned, like, then you tell me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Ma.
Drama.